Hello, friends. Welcome to today's reflection and meditation. The title is Whispers of Spirit. After last meditation, you may be swimming in a sea of confusion or chaos around spirit in general, and it seemed appropriate then to have a topic that was titled Whispers of Spirit so that we can get grounded in the experience of spirit in general. Maybe you've come out the other end with a refreshed or new definition of spirit. So, the basis of this reflection is my own experience that soul or spirit or the divinity as part of my very essence is constantly communicating. And oftentimes they're whispers because they're happening in the silent space within. It can feel like a whisper in your ear. So it's based on that operating assumption that part of our essential nature is a divinity that is animated. You can broaden that out in spirit. And I want to give you 3 examples from my own life that I would say were whispers of spirit couched in life. The first has to do with a reflection I had when I think it was about 7, but I was living in Cincinnati and I was in our front yard and I loved to lay on the grass and look up at the clouds, and that street was very vibrant with so much play and so much inspiration. But every once in a while I liked laying on the grass and looking up at the clouds, and I recognized that I had this really passionate desire to travel at the speed of thought. It was very deep within me. And what I noticed was that I don't travel at the speed of thought. That I would have a thought and my physical being did not travel at that speed. I could think about another state or a country and have a feeling of wanting to go there, but that travel certainly wasn't coming at the speed of thought. And it proved to be a tension within me. I remember reflecting on it going, what is this? Why do I have this insane desire to travel at the speed of thought and it not happen? And what happened within me, which was very powerful, was a clear insight. And that insight was this, put in a very childlike way: I just don't know how to do it yet. You see, I could have experienced in that tension of a longing for something that didn't seem to be fulfilled, I could have had any kind of response to that. I could have doubted it was possible. I could not believe that it was possible for me. I could think that it was not a desire of spirit. There's all sorts of conclusions I could have drawn about that would have contracted me or left me feeling like this was an insane desire to have. But that wasn't my response. My response was, I just don't know how to do it yet. These 2 arisings within me were both whispers of spirit. First whisper of spirit, the desire to travel at the speed of thought, the contemplation and imagination of what that would be like and feel like. The second, the awakening into knowing it's possible, I just don't know how. Our life is filled with these kinds of whispers in spirit. When you are stirred this way, what is your response? Is there anything within you that has arisen as a spiritual inspiration or desire that you have ended up poo-pooing or putting down or separating yourself from it or putting a wall up to it? And could you reframe that? My second story I want to share is from my youngest age. I loved to sing. Loved to sing. I would be out in nature and I would sing and make up songs. I loved singing at church. Loved, loved, loved singing. And I always had this dream of being a professional singer. I would say famous singer, but it wasn't about the fame in as much as what fame represented, and that was giving my whole life to it. That it was like a calling, that my singing was what I did with my time. So it wasn't about notoriety or being a celebrity. And that was a whisper of spirit. And it was fulfilled in the most mysterious way. I remember it was within a year or two of being in the monastery, and we would sing 5 to 7 hours a day. And there was one time when we were amidst singing, and I realized that inspiration of spirit within me was fulfilled. Who would have thought? I remember being in choir. I remember taking voice lessons. I remember realizing I didn't want to be part of a band, not really finding a way with singing that was right for me. And yet here, without me even consciously choosing it for the sake of fulfilling my dream of singing, here I was singing. And not only was I singing, but I was singing exactly what made my heart happiest. Sacred songs. The whisper of spirit. What's an example in your own life where you have been inspired and in an unknown way, it was realized? You fulfilled the flow of that. You were talking about flow and spirit here. The third story that I'm going to leave you with, and this is in my first book, it is the story of my confirmation. So I went to CCD, and I remember we were sitting there learning about what confirmation was and how you would choose the name of someone that you wanted to be protected by, that you were inspired by, or that you wanted to be like, or even that you wanted to be like the qualities of them. And I remember as she was talking and explaining, this sister who was teaching us, she was also handed out papers with all these different names on them, and she was starting to get into who these people were. But as I was sitting there at the table, my environment disappeared, and I experienced myself back at the time of Jesus when he was walking the path to be crucified. And it's kind of muddy for me now. I don't know if I witnessed this woman doing it, or if I was this woman doing it, or if there was kind of a merging of the two. But before me, I had this direct encounter of the feminine of Veronica pushing through the crowd, racing forward to Jesus, who was all alone carrying this big, heavy timber, sweating and bleeding, and taking her cloth and wiping his face. And in the experience of that, I was infused with this outpouring of love. And again, where I was situated in this, I'm not quite clear. But what it did do within me was awaken my heart's deepest desire, and that is to be an outpouring of divine love in this life. The whisper of spirit. Now that is a path I am still on, the realization of. So what about for you? What is a whisper of spirit that has stayed alive over the years? Something that you were inspired by in a similar way that I was by this vision, that is still true for you today. I guarantee you that you have had all three types of these whispers of spirit. You may need to excavate a little bit, because oftentimes these intuitions and deep soul longings, they get buried under the stresses of life. They get buried under trauma. They get buried under other goals, but they're there, and they are always there to be revisited. So if you're inclined and you've left a little time, put this on pause and sit down to consider your answer to 1, 2, or 3 of these types of whispers of spirit. Now for our meditation practice today, I thought what would be really nice is to have a spirit message. I have on occasion used these Divine Master cards in our online sessions. I use them in my private one-on-one healing work a lot. And while all cards are very potent, so I don't have a preference over one over another, what is particularly potent that I'm finding lately with these is it's the message that you're calling in. There's some message that you're calling in that comes forward from the card that's drawn, but it's also delivered by some being that's here and right now to support you in your own journey. So I pulled a card for us, and that card is going to lead into our meditation practice, which is going to be an opening to the support of spiritual guides and beings on our path. So who did I pull? You may or may not know this individual. Take a good look. Serapis Bey. I'm going to let you take it in here. All right. So I'm going to read the message that comes with Serapis. So I'm going to read, they give a little history of who the master is, and then they give what our message is. The title, though, is Paradigm Shift, Activation to Grow, to Make the Necessary Change. Serapis Bey is the Divine Master who is responsible for helping those on earth move through the process of ascension, which isn't about transcending the body, but fully aligning soul, mind, and body to transcend all earthly limitations. He is a divine being who, according to the Ascended Master teachings, was a priest or spiritual practitioner during the time of Atlantis, and like many of the spiritually aware Atlanteans, was consciously living connected to Source. He fled the land before it was hit by a cataclysm and went to Egypt, where it is said he chose to incarnate several times as a priest. In one of his incarnations, he is believed to have unified the Greeks and the Egyptians in harmony and peace. To illustrate this, he was depicted as Greek in appearance, but with an Egyptian headdress and breastplate. A temple of Serapis is mentioned in historical texts dating back to 323 BC. This powerful guide now assists those on earth willing to move beyond stagnant ways of doing things and into a more enlightened way of living. He is a master for a new age. I'm going to read our message amidst our meditation. So I invite you to close your eyes. And bring your focus to your body sitting on a chair. Notice how the chair, the floor, the room is upholding you. And now shift slightly to notice that your body is an anchor and is holding you that is much more of the body here in this moment. Let your sense of the body as an anchor grow light. Become aware that you are one with no boundaries. from this place, aware that there are 50 others doing this meditation with you, all at different times, but all connected into the same source. Open yourself to know that you are in community wherever you sit. This community, invite in and notice the many guides that are here to support you. Your guardian angel, angels of many backgrounds, Jophiel, Ariel, Metatron, Gabriel, Raphael, Michael. The many holy ones that have gone before us in form. Mary, Buddha, Mary Magdalene, Gandhi, Mother Teresa. The many hidden holy ones that we know not by name but lived lives of great love. Invite in and recognize the many goddesses, Kuan Yin, Oye, Chang'o, Freysha, Yamuna, Kali, Durga, and the shamans. The unknown dimensional beings, all of the ascended masters, Saint Germain. Serapis Bey is here with us now. Become aware of his presence. Open yourself to the message that Serapis Bey brings to you right now. This is a time of change. Out with the old and in with the new. This isn't a call to discard traditions, but to reflect on what has been learned and how things can grow. You are being invited to move things forward rather than resist the changes taking place. The universe is encouraging you to know that if you do not resist change, that if you do resist change, when it does come, it might be more difficult for you to adapt to it. So don't hide or run from it, but meet it with grace. Your energy is being activated now. This means the gifts and knowledge that have been locked within you are rising to the surface. Your ideas, beliefs, and trajectory are changing which means changes will begin to unfold around you. If you meet with resistance as you chart your new course, it's important to stay aligned with where you are going and what you are creating, rather than be pulled back into the old. You are here to evolve. We sit in the silence of that message. This place of being supported and guided, we open ourselves in a new way as we bring this meditation to a close. Make a new commitment to listen to the whispers of spirit. Make a new commitment to yourself to change, to open into the unknown, and to know that this evolution is happening from the certainty of source and divinity at your core. With that, I invite you to bring your palms together in front of your heart and to open your eyes with Namaste. Namaste, my friend. One last look at Serapis Bay. Blessings.